Hey YouTube world, I am back with another video today and I'm coming to you from my basement again here in Chicago. I forgot how great the lighting is actually down here and how much more quiet it is. When I'm in Nashville, I'm out in like the boonies, so there's not a whole lot of distractions or noises. Here in Chicago, I am in a city, so there's trains, there's people, yelling and kids screaming and cars zooming by. So it is much more quiet down here. So I thought this was a great place to film, and of course, you can see Toby hanging out here with me. That's always fun. But focusing on the topic today, which is going to be looking at Chanel, I've got two of them in front of me. I want to focusing on showing you again, there's like a million videos out there, so this is nothing new. I want to cover a little bit about my thoughts on Chanel and, of course, talking about pricing and kind of just the sentiment that is out there, including myself. And again, everything is my own opinion. Feel free to disagree, feel free to agree. Let me know that down in the comment section, but getting right into it. This is my first Chanel I have ever bought, and this was back in September of 2021. Let me tell you, my first time in Paris is definitely a unique experience because it was, from what I heard, it was swarming with people before. And when I went, there was like nobody. Nobody in the stores, no lines, no anything pretty much anywhere. Going to, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, no lines whatsoever. I also got up like incredibly early when I'm going to these attractions and being like the first one there. I think that also helps, but I also hit up the Chanel store because I was like, ooh, I want a Chanel. And of course, I have to have like the Chanel experience, right? And I know a lot of people said that they have visited Chanel and their experience have been mixed. Some of them are great, some of them have been terrible. Personally, I actually had a great experience. The essay that was helping me was incredibly nice, very patient. She knew it was my first experience, and I was there with my friend. And I was just like, oh, I want a medium flap, just looking for a classic flap to add to my collection. And apparently, they had a bunch in stock, which is usually not the case. From what I hear, when you show up to their flagship store, usually it's all sold out because everybody want to purchase from there, right? So they actually had a lot in stock, and I decided on the medium classic black with the caviar skin, and of course it came with like the whole package. It came with the box. They only come with the white box if you purchase from the Rue Campone. How many times am I gonna say that? From the flagship store. Let's just put it that way. And it came with like the entire box, the packaging, and of course like this massive care booklet, and as well as the dust bag. So overall, like I said, it was a very good experience for me. The essay also, I did go on my actual birthday, and when she looked at my passport, because doing the tax refund and whatever, she's like, "Oh, it's your birthday today." I'm like, "Yeah, it is," and this is what I'm buying myself for my birthday. And she actually went out of her way and gave me a birthday present. It was like a Chanel number 5. I'll insert a photo. It's upstairs. I'm too lazy to go upstairs right now. But yeah, it was number 5 that she gave me as a birthday present. So that was really nice of her. She offered me champagne. She was like, "Oh, I'm really excited. It's your first Chanel bag." I'm like, "Girl, I am dropping so much money. Yes, give me the full experience." And again, I won't go into too much of the details of the bag. It does come with all of the packaging, and it's just a really gorgeous bag, right? I expected nothing less, and it came with all of the packaging. So in the gorgeous red interior, and of course, it had a sticker on there. I actually recently pulled that off. And I also kept her card so that when I do go back to Paris and if I ever want to go and purchase something from the Chanel store, I can make an appointment with her. My friend actually went back to Paris and I gave her the card so she could make an appointment. Unfortunately, they were so out of stock that she didn't end up getting anything, but it was nice to just make an appointment and walk right in instead of having to wait in line. When I purchased this back in September of 2021, The pricing, I bought it in euros, and if I'm just converting it to US dollars, it was 81.23 that showed up on my credit card, and I got a refund of $981. So this bag ended up being $7,142, which is a great deal. Consider that, if I forget what the prices were in 2021, but I did make a good savings of, I think, 20 or 30%. So I know this particular bag, I was just looking online with the recent price increases. This is up to like $10,000. Oh, excuse me, $10,200. If you were to add tax on top of that, that is $11,200. I mean, that's just insane, right? So, kind of just jumping into my thoughts about this particular bag. Do I have regrets? Kind of. I kind of wish I didn't purchase this. I really enjoyed the experience of purchasing this bag, and I guess I got really lucky and not have any issues with this particular bag, but I do have kind of regrets. Like, the same amount of money, I could have gone and got a classic flap with, caviar for, a fraction of the cost. Let's just say, 40 to 50, maybe 60% off, depending on the condition, right? And I could get two different bags, one in beige, one in black, right? But I know caviar is always more highly sought after, so that could go up in price if I were to look at vintage. And of course, this is not going to be 24 karat gold. Anything after 2008 is going to be not the 24 karat gold hardware. And the other thing I am quote unquote regretting, not so much regret, but I'm kind of scared to use this, right? This is the thing about my mentality is like, hey, I actually really enjoy purchasing pre-owned bags, but to me it's just like, hey, the little scuffs, the little whatever, it's already been used and I'm not afraid to use it. But this is a completely brand new bag. And for me to like nick it or like have a little bit of scratch on this, like I would just like have a heartbreak over it. And it's not just about the money, right? It's a pristine bag, and I would love to have, keep this for years to come. And by no means, I'm not letting go of this bag. This is my first Chanel bag ever. I'm not gonna let go of it, but sometimes I do wonder. It's like, should I have purchased this bag at all? And the pricing, I mean, having a just think about it, right? It's $11,000 now, but having a $7,000 bag on your shoulders, it gets me really nervous, especially here in Chicago. I haven't had any bad experiences, fortunately, but even if you're in like a safe city, it's still $7,000. Or now, if you kind of like take a look at today prices, that's $11,000 on your arm, right? People get their arms chopped off or their fingers chopped off for watches and whatnot. And then people can also see this is a brand new bag, right? I gotta do a little bit of voiceover for some of these clips because Q's just upstairs losing her mind at other dogs. Maybe if I were about to be robbed, I would just start screaming, it's fake, don't rob me, it's fake. So that's kind of why I'm afraid of using it, for two different reasons. To be honest, I actually, Toby, what are you doing? Why are you hiding behind the speakers? Come here. I actually have not used this bag at all. So it's just kind of sitting pretty in my closet. And I do leave it out of the box because summer is coming around and it can get a little humid here in Chicago, even though we have the AC blasting. My boyfriend's like a polar bear and wants the AC to be blasting all the time. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I know if you were to keep it in your dust bag, it could get moldy. So just be aware of that. Before I get into the second bag here, I do hope you enjoy my content so far for those who have been subscribed with me. And if you're not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button as I am building my channel, trying to hit 1,000. I know it's that magic number. Would love it if you help me out so that, again, I can create better and quality relevant content for you. This one's a little bit of a chatty one and just talking about my experience. Again, this is nothing new. We've seen a million medium flat bags. I just wanted to share my experience with you when purchasing from the flagship store, and then I think you'll find this one really interesting. So getting right back into it. Let's talk about this second bag here. I actually forgot that I had this bag. I was cleaning out my closet, trying to do some spring cleaning, I guess. And I found this at the top of my closet and completely had forgotten all about this. So this is actually a replica, believe it or not. This one was given to me by my friend, I want to say over 10 years ago. I might have used it once. And this was back in the day where I was like, I don't even know what Chanel is. And I think I sent a picture to my friends like, oh, look at this. This is a pretty Chanel. And she proceeded to purchase this for me. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. That's very generous. So I have no idea how much this bag is, but it is actually a pretty good replica, right? For over 10 years old, there's a little bit of, I guess, fading of the bag, which is interesting to me because it has been in a dust bag. This is the dust bag that it came with, and it's been sitting in a dust bag for years. So overall, it is a very good condition bag. Now that I am much more well aware of what goes into a real bag and how to authenticate it, I can see why this can be a dead giveaway when it comes to it being a replica. But this is the maxi, I think, right? So you can see the back of it. Everything is actually pretty good. Obviously, I'm going to point out the features of why this is a replica bag, and then I'm sure if you take it to like an authenticator, they can point out like 50 other things, but I'm not that well versed in it. The first thing I can see is that the stitching, right? The Chanel straps right here, I don't know if you can see it. You're not supposed to see the stitching on the leather straps. And then you can see the grommets here. I think that's what they're called, grommets. They look kind of like stainless steel, which is not what it's supposed to be, right? They look like stainless steel, whereas this one actually looks nice and shiny. So that's another giveaway. And then just to show you the real thing, obviously this is not an apples to apples comparison, but I think like if you look at the quilting, the sizing and the shape of the quilting is just a little bit thing off. You can notice here that is another dead giveaway that this is a replica is that the screws here, you can see it is the one that pops out. If it's a real Chanel bag, these screws are supposed to be flat and flush with the actual knob buckle of the hardware. You can see the wording of the Chanel Paris. It's just a little bit off, right? The other thing I did notice is that the insides of it, I don't think there was a seal. I don't think they get that intricate when it comes to replicating this particular purse. And then the other thing you can see is that the leather is extremely shiny. So this is definitely another giveaway where it is a replica bag because even the lambskin ones that are real aren't this shiny. But again, for the replica, I mean, this is pretty good, right? So would you ever buy a replica? Should I continue wearing this? I don't even know what to do with this. It's not like I can sell it. And silver hardware is not really my thing either. So I think I might still wear it just for, going out and kind of maybe you know what I should do? I should totally just start using this and beat the F out of it because, again, the whole beat up Birkin, the whole beat up purse, kind of look is totally in right now. So maybe I'll give that a whirl. But and that way, if someone decides to rob me for whatever reason, I can actually say, here you go. Or instead of screaming, it's fake, please don't rob me. So we'll see. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. But I guess for a 10-year-old bag, this is actually not too shabby. I hope this was helpful. Like and subscribe. If you are loving this content, I want to cover topics that will help you adult easier. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can live your best life and hopefully less than retail. I'll see you next time.